listening to Chat with the Experts, brought to you by Angie's List on 93 WIBC.
Welcome back to Chat with the Experts, brought to you by Angie's List. We're here today with Deb Meno of Puppy Playground in Indianapolis, and we've spent the first half of our show today talking about animal boarding, pet grooming, and more. And in just a few minutes, we're going to take some of your listener questions. But before we do that, we want to share some helpful information with you, a segment that we call What's Trending. While boarding your pet is one way to handle time away, there's also the option of hiring a pet sitter. But how do you know what items and information to leave behind for your sitter before you hit the road? Angie's List editor Stephanie Figge answers this and more in a recent article titled, "What Should I Leave with My Pet Sitter?" Now, imagine a relaxing day on the beach when suddenly the phone rings. It's the person you hired to watch your home and your pet, and they don't have the code to turn off the security system. And oh, by the way, you also forgot to leave your dog's prescription medication. If you're going away and hiring a sitter, it is vital to know what to leave behind. So first, your veterinarian information is of the utmost of importance. You never want to think about an emergency, but they do happen, and your pet sitter should know who to call and where to go. Also, you're going to want to alert them of any changes in your pet's diet, such as special food changes or changes in the time of feeding. And you're also going to want to think about inclement weather. If a storm prevents you from getting to your home, it's wise to have someone within walking distance who can get to your pets if you can't. Alarm codes and your travel itinerary are also important things to leave behind for your sitter. You should also have a backup contact in the event that you're unavailable and your sitter needs to get a hold of someone immediately. You're also going to want to alert your pet sitter about anyone that's going to be coming to your home to perform a service, because knowing when someone's going to arrive can help the sitter be there and care for the pet to avoid any alarm on the pet's end. Finally, be sure to leave information about where to find things such as cleaning supplies in case of an accident or necessary accessories like a leash for when it's time to take a walk. Thinking ahead and informing your pet sitter will not only make the experience better for your pet, it's also going to allow you to relax and enjoy your time away. If you want more information on this subject, you can read Stephanie's article and many more by going to angieslist.com/articles. All right. That's what's trending for today, and now it is time to take some of your listener questions. It's a segment that we call Consumers Ask. And every week here on Chat with the Experts, we take listener questions from Twitter, Facebook, and our Angie's List Answers forum, and we get some feedback from our special guests. And today we're going to be looking to Deb to get some answers. Deb, are you ready to help these folks out?
Let's do it.
All right, let's get started with a question from Sharon. She wants to know, can multiple pets stay together while boarding?
Definitely. We offer family suite accommodations overnight, so we've got multiple size of kennels depending on what size of dogs that we have. For example, last week we had a family that has 2 Great Danes and a Leonberger, which is another pretty big size dog. So we do have what we call the presidential suite, which is approximately half the size of my living room. So the 3 of them could very comfortably sleep over there together in the evening. We also offer individual feeding if necessary. Okay. So if Teddy's a pig and he's going to eat all of Ava's food, we can make sure that each dog is fed individually so that they get the appropriate amounts.
Very good. Michael is asking similar along the food lines. If his pet's on a special diet, can they be accommodated while they're staying there?
For sure. And that's definitely one of the questions that you want to ask when you are bringing your dog to a boarding facility. At Puppy Playground, we do ask for clients to bring in their own food. That way we don't switch their diet and have any upset tummies. Yeah. We have lots of pups that have special diets or allergies or other restrictions. Some boarding facilities will kind of have their stock food. I would strongly recommend against that, just because you're not really sure how your dog's going to react to it. Mm-hmm. And last thing you want is for them to have an upset tummy and to not feel good while they're boarding and out of their normal element. So for us, special requests are an everyday thing, and we're happy to accommodate. We've literally had dogs come in with rolling luggage and bottled water. So whatever's going to make them feel more comfortable and make their owner feel more comfortable. Duke got strawberries with his breakfast this morning.
Okay. Yeah, that's great. Richard wants to know about dog walking. Is that another special request that you can give, that your dog needs certain amount of walks during the day, or is every dog kind of treated the same in that aspect?
Within our facility, all of our boarding dogs are automatically enrolled in full day of daycare. So by the end of 12 hours of playtime, most of them don't have energy to go for a walk. Yeah. So they get quite a bit of exercise and interaction during that playtime where they don't need the individual walk time. For other facilities that maybe don't offer that type of daily interaction, or if the dog isn't enrolled in a daycare option, certainly you want to ask of how much time and how frequently the dogs do get walked.
Yeah, definitely. Melissa is asking what kind of contact she's going to have with her pet while she's away.
The owners are welcome to call in whenever they want to. We also encourage people to email us, and then we can email back with pictures. We do a lot of Facebook posts throughout the day and also Instagram pictures, etc., just to try to keep in touch with the owners and let them know how their pet's doing.
You mentioned while we were at the break about some facilities having, a camera feature.
Exactly.
You can go pretty far with that, it sounds like.
You definitely can. Some of them have a personal IP address where you can have a webcam, to be able to check in on your dog whenever you want to.
Yeah. I would imagine almost like a daycare that you'll have some owners who are calling in pretty regularly and are pretty worried about their dog, where some are, fine.
Bye, see you later, drop you off at 7. Exactly. I mean, all along the spectrum, we get all of it. So, but we're certainly happy to give updates as much as possible and as much as they would like. Yeah,
that's really cool. Jennifer wants to know if there are overnight attendants that stay with the pets.
Our facility is not, we do not have an overnight attendant. Both of our facilities are fully monitored for fire prevention, as well as, a sprinkler system. And I have a motion detection system indicated so that if someone should break out or if there's any instance that goes on, my cell phone is the first one that rings.
Okay, very good. Isaiah is asking, I guess, about a calm environment for his dog. If he's visiting a place and it doesn't seem like the right fit, are they going to inform him? Is there a way that, like if my pet wasn't going to work at Puppy Playground, could you help me find a facility that would be a good match?
Certainly. I mean, first and foremost, what we want a boarding experience to be a good situation for both the pet owner as well as the dog itself. Last thing we want is for a dog to come in and be unhappy and have to stay in a place where they don't feel comfortable, because if they're not satisfied and they're not comfortable, then it's going to be a bad experience all the way around.
Yeah.
For example, we had a Shih Tzu come in last week for his initial evaluation, and he was terrified. So even introducing him to some really nonchalant other dogs, he just wanted nothing to do with it. And last thing we wanted is for owner to go out of town and he not be in a good environment for him. Yeah. So we were able to work with the owner, actually set up a private pet sitter or get her in touch with some private pet sitters that would be able to provide a much better service for what that dog needed.
Yeah, very good. Because you always want your animal to be in a place that's going to be a good fit for them.
It's got to be a good fit. It's got to be a good fit. And that's one of the great things about our doing the initial evaluation is not every dog passes the evaluation.
Sure.
We've got to make sure that we're screening for safety, because safety is our number one priority, that we're looking at making sure they get along in a manner which doesn't promote or which doesn't set up any failure. We want to make sure that it's going to be something that they enjoy and it's going to be a good situation.
Yeah. Do you end up at Puppy Playground with some regulars that, people kind of develop a relationship there and they know their dog fits in, so they're always coming back?
We even offer an unlimited month. So I've got like 15 dogs right now at our 65th Street store that are there pretty much every single day.
Okay.
And it's really neat. We've got, we even have some families that carpool together. Maggie and Andy live next door to each other. So Maggie's mom will drop off, Andy's mom will pick up.
Yeah.
Or we've got certain dogs whose schedule have correlated with their buddies. Okay. So Daisy and Baxter are the best of friends. So Daisy's mom changed her. She usually came Monday and Thursday. She now does Tuesday and Thursday so that Daisy and Baxter can play together.
Yeah. That's awesome.
It's really neat to kind of have those little connections.
Yeah. I know you mentioned at the top of the show about having a couple of dogs of your own. Do they get to come to Puppy Playground from time to time and interact?
They do. They get super excited whenever they see me get my shoes on and go to the back door, and it's kind of like, do we get to go today? Do we get to go today? And we actually had some of our clients submit videos of their dogs getting super excited whenever they're asking, do you want to go to Puppy Playground? And the dog's just bouncing out, and they fly through the door, don't even say goodbye. They've got their buddies inside and can't wait to go and play with their friends.
Well, that's so cool. That's going to do it for our listener questions for this week. A huge thank you, as always, to our listeners for submitting your questions. As always, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and our Angie's List Answers Forum to ask your question. We'll try to get you an answer on the show. If you ask on the forum, we've got other homeowners, pet owners, and service providers there to answer their advice as well. Deb, this has been really great. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing about what you're doing at Puppy Playground and giving us all a little bit of advice to help our pooch have a good stay.
Well, I appreciate the invitation.
That'll do it for Deb Meno of Puppy Playground, but we are not finished just yet. Coming up, we're going to welcome in Angie's List writer Kaylee Blakovich. She's going to talk about fostering animals and what you can do to foster a pet before it gets adopted. Keep it right here. You're listening to Chat with the Experts, brought to you by Angie's List.
Angie's List believes that hiring great local service providers should be easy. Whether you need a plumber or a pet sitter, you can find one at angieslist.com. See ratings and reviews in hundreds of categories, shop popular offers, and request scheduling assistance directly online. Memberships start at just $9.99 per year. That's less than $1 a month. Join today and get 40% off with promo code WIBC40. Visit angieslist.com to sign up.